Hi, sixth graders. You will want to be watching this lesson if you missed on Tuesday, May 3rd. You'll want to watch this prior to doing your quick check. All right, so we did a lab, yesterday on Monday the 2nd, where we looked at which direction the Earth was rotating. So we know that the Earth rotates on its axis, or spins, and it spins once every 24 hours, and that gives us day and night. So one half of the Earth is always illuminated by the sun, and the other half is in darkness. So if we're on the half that's illuminated by the sun, it's daytime, and if we're on the half illuminated by, or not illuminated by the sun, or in the shadow, it's nighttime. Yesterday when we did the lab, we learned that the Earth rotates counterclockwise. And so in the lab, what we did is first we spun the Earth clockwise, and what we found occurred is that the sun rose in the west and set in the east when the Earth was spinning clockwise. Well, we know that that's just not the case. So then we spun the Earth counterclockwise, and we found that when the Earth spins counterclockwise, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, which we know to be true. Therefore, the Earth must be spinning counterclockwise. So that was kind of a review of the lab that we did yesterday. A new word we're going to look at today is called the Terminator. The Terminator is, we know that one half of the Earth is illuminated by the sun and the other half is in shadow. So the line that divides the two is what we call the Terminator. Now in real life we know that it doesn't go from complete light to complete dark. There's kind of a general fading of light. But when we look at it from space, we do see a line, and it looks similar to the one in the picture here. So the first thing we did is we had a discussion about which direction we thought this Terminator line moved across the Earth. And a lot of groups brought up the fact that, well, the Terminator line doesn't actually move. It's the Earth that is moving, that is rotating. So you are correct with that. So the line appears to move. So we looked at if the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, which way is the Terminator moving in this picture? Will the people at the smile face soon be experiencing sunrise or sunset, and how do you know? Well, we know that since the Earth is spinning or rotating counterclockwise, okay, so it's kind of moving, it's hard to show you, I can't point on this picture, but it's moving this way, right? Maybe I can have a pointer tool. I don't know how to find it. Okay, so it's moving this way, and so this Terminator line is going to move across the world from east to west. Okay, so the people at the smiley face, as that line moves like to the left if you're looking at this picture from east to west, those people are going to soon be experiencing sunrise. Then we had a discussion looking at, well, does the Terminator always move in the same direction? Is it always moving across from east to west? And yes, it is. The only way that it could be moving the opposite direction is if the Earth started rotating the opposite direction. So if the Earth, for some reason, started rotating clockwise, then the Terminator line would move across from west to east. The sun would rise in the west and it would set in the east. And so the opposite thing would happen. Next, we went through, we did this vocabulary sheet last week, and then we went through the back of this sheet. So take out that sheet that you have and fill in the back, and I'll give you a second to do that, and then we will go through what it should say. All right, so what you should have circled on there, let me grab my key click here. All right, so here's mine. So you should have circled, I think Earth is rotating counterclockwise as I look in toward the North Pole. This means the planet is turning from west to east. Now, even though the Terminator line is moving from east to west, the planet is actually spinning west to east. As I show in figure 1 below, this makes sense to me. As Earth turns past the Terminator and toward the light of the sun has to rise in the east. I can observe that the sun really does rise in the east. Then it asked you to draw a model of the Earth down below. So labeling the North Pole and South Pole, so you can see on mine here, okay? So I have the North Pole with NP and the South Pole with SP. I drew the equator along the middle there. Then I drew the sun off to, I think it said off to the right, right? And then I drew the Terminator and shaded the dark side, or the side that's in the shadow of the Earth, okay, which is opposite of the sun. Then I drew a dot, or I drew a line showing the way that the Earth is rotating, so counterclockwise, or west to east. And then I drew this dot right here. What this dot right here represents is those people right there that are living on that dot would soon be experiencing sunrise, because the Terminator line is going to move across this way. So in the next hour or so, the people living on that dot would experience sunrise. So go ahead and make sure you have the correct information on that sheet. Once you're finished with that, you are going to be ready to do the quick check. Okay, so when you're ready to do the quick check, that needs to be done with me during wind time. So come and see me, and I will explain the directions to you on how to do it. Okay.